Yo, so I didn't even want to do this reading. I had my own plan, my own things to do, and my guides are just in my mind, like literally banging my head to get this reading out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the intention that anybody who's sending us negativity, negative energies or entities, any Illuminati systems, Masonic governments, all that energy will be returned back to them 60-fold, because this reading is going to change the game. Prince Charles is set to be the heir to the British throne, but I feel like this is going to create a domino effect because Princess Diana's death is significant and will still be significant to this family unit. So we're going to start off with the ball players in the game. We have Charles, who's a Scorpio, Princess Diana herself, who's a Cancer, Queen Elizabeth II, who is a Taurus Aries cusp. We have Camilla, the Princess of Cornwall, who was, Charles' mistress and now wife. We have Andrew Parker, who is the spouse of Camilla, and then we have Prince Philip, who is a Gemini. We'll get into the other ballpark pairs, but for now, let's start off with that. So what secrets do we need to know when it comes to Princess Diana's death, of why her death happened? We have Judgment Day. So this was something that was divinely guided. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 people were involved in her death. At least that's how many bodies that I've seen here. 5 of Swords. This was murder. Same card that came out with, who did we just do a reading on? Kurt Cobain. 5 of Swords. This was a collective effort to hurt her, to get her to, to the Queen of Cups, the Cancer. This is the woman that was very loving, caring, nurturing, compassionate, an earth angel. I feel like Princess Diana, her soul origins are from Atlantis or Lemuria. And she just happened to be reincarnated in our lifetime. And she was somebody who was a goddess. She was a being. And I feel like people that were around her knew that as well. Her energy signature was completely different than everybody else's. We also have 9 of Pentacles. This was someone that was pure. You see how she's wearing all white? She was very pure, very intelligent. She came basically from a family that was not as wealthy. Or at least if they did have wealth, she didn't benefit from any of that wealth. It's almost as if like she was isolated in her family unit and where she grew up. But with the 9 of Pentacles, this was a woman that was very independent, very strong, very controlled. She had a lot of self-will. She had a lot of dreams, a lot of goals, a lot of aspirations, and she brought a lot of light and contentment into this world with the 9 of Pentacles. This plot to get rid of her, it was something that had been going on for about 9 months. Let's see, what secrets do we need to know when it comes to Princess Diana? And the Knight of Wands, 2 of Wands, 6 of Pentacles, and the Moon card. So there's a lot of hidden things and intentions as to why she was actually removed from this family unit. I feel like someone had a choice to make. This person that had a choice to make was Charles. He had to decide which path that he wanted to take, because he could either go towards the left or the right. The blue side was towards Diana and her love and her prosperity and everything that she could bring to the world, and the red side was towards Camilla, because both Camilla and Princess Diana are Cancer. So I feel like he had a battle between like the karmic and the divine feminine, and he got confused. Because I am, in the situation where I've dealt with like divine masculines, it's easy to get confused because these mistresses, they know how to doppelganger and copycat like energy. They dabble in the dark arts. Camilla is someone that I feel is a high priestess, but she's a high priestess that deals with like the devil. She does rituals and sacrifices to get to the power where she's at now. Because how could she go from being, Duchess of Cornwall, and then all the way to now, basically she's going to be like the heiress to the throne if Prince Charles ends up, inheriting what's in store for him. And that's why it's important. It's going to be 6 years. So for the next 6 years, it's going to be significant. Something's going to happen to Queen Elizabeth within the next 6 years where she's not going to be able to rule. This is something that's going to affect her health. So it's going to be time for her to step down for whoever it is that's going to take control of, the British Empire. And it seems to me like that person is Charles. I don't know the rules yet, but I feel from what I read online that he was the person that was in line, to inherit the wealth. That's why this marriage was important. Wow, okay. Let me not get ahead of myself. So let me get another deck. That way I can get additional messages, because I want to give you guys a visual. That way, you don't think that I'm just making this up. You'll see it from the card's perspective itself. So what secrets do you need to know? Look, the Devil. It was a sacrifice. This was the same card that came out with Kurt Cobain and Courtney as well. The Devil. It was a sacrifice that was needed to bind 2 people together. Why? For work to be put in. So with the 8 of Pentacles, whatever this family unit wanted to accomplish, they could not do it without, they couldn't do it with Princess Diana in the picture because she was too good. She was too pure. For what I'm seeing, or what I've learned, the queen and her bloodline is like this ancient, demonic, tainted bloodline. Basically, they're like reptilians. I don't know what they are. They could be draconians. They could be people that, you know, stem from like Sirius and Orion, and they just came down here to rule the planet. Queen Elizabeth's bloodline has been here for thousands and thousands of years, and they've maintained their power through like incest and making sure that, you know, they make chess moves to keep the power in the family unit. And that's why it was important for Camilla to come into the picture some way, shape, or form, because Princess Diana was too much of a goddess. Like, she wanted to spread love and enchantment and, you know, prosperity, and she wanted to go out there and help and have philanthropy work. And this is not what these people were about. These were evil beings. Like, look at this. They were probably adrenochrome users. They probably would eat people. Like, I feel like these people practice cannibalism heavily. And she knew these secrets. She discovered them somehow through downloads, through just being around these people. I mean, secrets, deep secrets were revealed about this family unit and how they rose to power. What secrets do we need to know about Princess Diana and why she died? Look, Nine of Pentacles. She was good on her own. She didn't even need Charles. He needed her. They had 2 children together at this time. But with the Six of Pentacles, it's like she wanted to move on from Charles. She was never satisfied with this man because he made her unhappy. With the Sun card in reverse, he basically wanted to take her light. This family unit was jealous of Princess Diana and her light. Somebody, an earth angel of this caliber, their vibration has to be super high. And you can already tell. If you look at all the interviews with Princess Diana, or when you see the footage of her with people like dote to her. It's because, literally, I'm not kidding you, she was... her ranking in the spiritual realm is high. She's still controlling this planet in some way, shape, or form. Her energy is still looming. I've thought about this woman my entire life, and she died when I was 2. And I remember the day Diana died like it was yesterday. That's how like crazy and significant her death was in my life. And for me to talk about it at this point, like 25 years late, you know, yeah, 20 years later, it's crazy. So with the Sun card in reverse, this is all about, you know, the fact that they dimmed her light. They killed her. 10 of Swords. These people conspired against this woman, and it was specifically, it stemmed from Charles. It's like he was the initiator of whatever happened to Diana, but he regrets it. He regrets this immensely. He regrets it every day. He has to deal with that guilt. He has to keep those secrets. He has a hard time sleeping at night. This is like a family secret that's kept under wraps, but someone's gonna fold. Someone in this family unit or somebody that knows about this secret is gonna fold at some point in time, and they're gonna speak up. And this whole situation will be like reinvestigated all over again. So what? Excuse me. What messages do we need to know in regards to Princess Diana? Now I have hiccups. And the things that led to her death. We have the Lovers. So she had a lover. She had a twin. She was a twin. And whoever this man that she met was her twin, it was not Charles. Because Charles was trying to bind her in any way, shape, or form. Charles was someone who was abusive beyond all means. And he was a warlock. So he most likely used sex magic, love magic, binding magic, whatever he could do to keep this woman bound. And whoever Princess Diana met ended up like helping her out of the situation. Like, this man was the light in her life. I just want to see, is that James Hewitt? Because James Hewitt is a Taurus. Is this James Hewitt? The Moon. This is secrets that she was keeping about a Page of Swords. So this was somebody that she had been studying, someone that, you know, she kept her eye on, and it seems to be a Knight of Swords energy. This was someone that, you know, chased after her, someone that didn't want to be in the public eye, but was in King of Pentacles energy. King of Pentacles is Earth sign, Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus. Somebody who's wealthy, stable, grounded. James Hewitt could have been someone who liked books. Maybe he was surrounded by books. He could have been someone that studied literature, but he's showing up. So yeah, that was the man that she had an affair with. But I don't know. It's so hard to judge in this situation because, like, she was in a situation where her life was being threatened. But she still had vows to Charles. But Charles was cheating with Camilla, which we saw like footage in real life, even from the documentaries that I watched. And so she took solace into this man that was brought into her life by the divine. James Hewitt was intentionally placed in her life by the divine. Why? For a child. Page of Cups' child. Who is this? This is Harry. Hello. Prince Harry is not Charles' son. I don't know who needed to know that. I don't know what speculation was there, but this is me letting you know right now. Harry is not Charles' son, and it all makes sense why they alienated him. It all makes sense like why the British media would turn against him and Meghan. It was all a plot. Queen Elizabeth is literally the person transpiring all of this, because right now she's the ringleader. She's the person that's controlling the world in some way, shape, or form. She has ties to like the Rothschilds, Myers, the DuPonts, like all those 13 bloodlines that, you know, have ruling over the world. You know, Bush, those families. With the Star card, this was something that was plotted against with the King of Cups. It's like Charles is a Scorpio. This is him with the King energy. He knew what he dealt with. He knew that Diana was special, but he also knew that he couldn't control her. And intuitively, he also knew that she didn't belong to him. And once this man came into the picture, it was a done deal. They already have a child together. So what was he going to do to get rid? Because he couldn't separate Diana from James. They were like intertwined. These two people, even if they were separated from each other, they would have a telepathic connection. They would sneak around, you know, to see each other. They had like this once in a lifetime type of love, and he was so jealous of it. He wanted to stop this at all costs, and he knew that in order to do this, he would have to plot and plan and do something and bring some form of like injustice. But in a way, this was justice, because it was meant to happen this way. I don't know why, but it was meant for Diana to be conspired against. It was meant for her to be killed. And with the Two of Swords, within 2 weeks, Prince Charles came up with some sort of plot and plan, but it took about 9 months for it to be executed for whatever reason, because there was a lot of like heavy family interference. There was just a lot of unhappiness in this marriage, and you could see how like their relationship and their marriage was like completely crumbling down in front of the media. Like you could see the pressure, you could read the body language. As the World card was here to the devil, had Princess Diana lived, this planet would be completely different, because her energy signature alone, like it would create supernova effects in this planet. And she was one of the sacrifice that was there to the devil. And because there was so much power, there were so many people ganging up against her. It was one person versus like 10, 11, 12. Like it was an unfair match from the beginning. 10 people rallied up against her to kill her, and that was so unfair. But it was meant to happen this way, because it's all going to work out in the end. I feel Harry and Meghan are going to rise to power in some way, shape, or form, because they're already establishing their own life. They're staying private away from this whole British Empire. They've extracted from it, and they have the key. The 2 children that Harry and Meghan have conceived and that have birthed, those 2 children are the key to how this whole situation is going to fall apart. With the 8 of Cups, Princess Diana didn't want to be in that life anymore, but it was like one of those things where it was kind of like a game, like you're in for life. You don't have a choice. The only way that you're out is if you die. And so they conspired against her. They laughed. They mocked her. They spoke ill against her behind her back, created egregors from gossip and lies and trickery and deception. And they would always feed, this family would feed to the British paparazzi and, you know, to the tabloids. Like they were the ones leaking information. It was this family. So, wow. That's literally insane. I can't even right now. Okay, so that's what happened. It was an inside job by Queen Elizabeth and her children, her evil children and her kids, because they saw a star. They saw somebody that was going to literally completely dismantle this principality, and they chose against that. They conspired against this woman, and it's all going to come to light at some... Before I die, within my lifetime, all these things are going to come into light. And it's going to be from who? The King of Pentacles, which is Prince Harry. Prince Harry is a Taurus, just like his father, James Hewitt. He has the exact same characteristics, the exact same DNA activations, but then he also has his mom, which is Princess Diana as well. She's going to make sure her son is right. When it comes to Prince William, Right now, he's having his own fight with his karmic, which is his wife, because the mother of his child is, she's an empress in reverse. I feel like she is someone who portrays herself to be a divine feminine, but really and truly, she's not someone that can be trusted, because she is a dark high priestess. She most likely got to that position through magic, the same way Camilla got to the point of where, you know, she's Charles's wife now. She went from that's what I'm saying, man. Everything is spiritual. Everything is so much deeper than what it looks. So let's see, why did this happen? Why did Princess Diana have to die specifically? 10 of Wands, 5 of Pentacles. Look, a mother and a child. It was because of Harry. They looked at her like she was a traitor. Like she basically, you know, betrayed the family and had evidence of her transgressions. And they had to look at Harry every day. Harry chose war, and I think it was Afghanistan, than living in the palace. If that doesn't raise red flags, then I don't know what does. King of Pentacles again. That's Harry. And that's also simultaneously his father, because the energy signature is just the same. With 10 of Swords, this had to happen. And look, this is a woman dying. When Princess Diana got hit by the car, what she was driving in, it was a Mercedes S280. She was still alive at the scene of the crime. She just like died. I don't know if she died specifically on the way to the hospital or she died in the hospital, but she was still alive in that car. And someone fled the scene. Someone that was there fled the scene, and also this was something that was transpired by a coven of people. In the background, that looks like a palace to me. They all transpired against her. This had to happen because she talked too much. She was someone that was going to dismantle their entire principality. This unit, this looks like the palace to me as well. From what I saw, like, in the background, and look at that. I don't know how many kids Queen Elizabeth has in total. I don't know if it's more than Charles and Andrew. Because I'm not too familiar with this, but yeah, she was going to dismantle everything, like the family heirloom. She was going to like destroy everything. Everything that this family has worked so hard to maintain when it comes to like riches and finances and gold. And there's a lot of gold that Queen Elizabeth has stored that she steals from like the British people. And I don't understand why this woman is still in this position of power. Like, why haven't people rallied against her? But you know, that's beyond me. It's gonna happen at some point in time. But with the 10 of Wands, she caused too many burdens to this family. She was somebody that was, you know, magical. She caused way too many burdens. They saw her as a traitor because not only did she cheat, but I mean, whatever. Not only did she cheat on James Hewitt in their eyes, but she also conceived a child with him that she decided to keep. So instead of aborting Harry, she decided to keep him. And that also was, you know, something that was considered unforgivable in their eyes. So let me get another deck. That way I can get some additional messages. They did some sort of ritual to make sure that, you know, Princess Diana's death, like, it ended up like empowering the family. It's so, oh man, so messed up. But that's just what I'm seeing. Immigration or document issues. So she was trying to move away. With activated, Princess Diana was someone that was activated. She was like me and you. She knew what was up when it came to spirituality. It was not the right time for her to, you know, look, secret affair. There was a secret affair that she had. But also what caused her to get into the secret affair was the fact that Camilla and Charles were just doing their own thing. With I'm leaving them, please be patient with me. She tried to say, or she tried to like bargain when it came to James. But with divine connections, you just know, like, you can't avoid them. You can't resist them. Eventually, you end up falling into the temptation. They tricked me. I feel stupid. Charles regrets whatever he did because Camilla, this was all about power. There was no real love. There was just lust, temptation, and magic. That's all that relationship is. And toxicity and fights and arguing. It's all superficial. Princess Diana was pure. She truly loved Charles. She truly cared for him. You know, she birthed his son. Harry, unfortunately, was not his, but I kind of feel like that was his own doing. Refuses to take ownership and accountability to this day. Charles will still deflect and, you know, act like he doesn't understand why things happened the way that it did, but he didn't allow Diana to love him, and he truly did not love her. he met her, I feel like at a point where she was young or like immature or just didn't have much experience when it came to relationships, and he found an opportunity and he found somebody that he thought he could mold, but he didn't understand who Diana was until he was already invested into the relationship. She started to learn about these secrets, about like what this family was doing in the background, and you could tell she wanted to say more in these interviews, like what was happening to her, the kind of stresses that she was going through. But on top of getting attacked and by this family unit, there was also Camilla in the background doing whatever type of magic she was doing, because the high priestess came up for her, and the high priestess is someone who is divine or has like divine potential. Camilla did have divine potential, but she chose to go down the wrong path, and so ultimately she became like an incubus, succubus, Jezebel spirit. And that's why, from what I'm seeing, because the Two of Wands is here again. Like, Charles had a decision of which path to take, and he ended up taking the wrong path. And by then, it was already too late. The plan was already in store here, from what I'm seeing. So, let me get another deck. That way, I can get some additional messages. Look, underneath that is Cancer. The Chariot represents a Cancer sign. Princess Diana was a blonde, and she's also a Cancer. She's still the driving force for her two sons. So, those two, they're going to do something revolutionary that's going to change the British Empire for good. And I feel like it's mostly leaning towards Meghan and Harry, because I've had downloads of them in a private jet, like doing business deals, and whatever it was going to end up like changing the world from what I saw. Eight of Cups in reverse here. This is like a journey that cannot be avoided. With the Hangman, the world is going to awaken to what happened. I feel like most people know. If you're intuitive, you know that there was something wrong with this situation, or you know at least that this family had something to do with Princess Diana's death. With the Four of Cups is here and the Nine of Swords. So she was under a lot of stress and pressure at this time. And there was a lot of competition and a lot of conflict. And it's still saying like Diana was ganged up on. This was something that was plotted and planned by multiple people. Multiple people in power. A family unit even. People that saw her as competition. People that saw her as like an obstacle to get to where they need to be. Who is the person that I guess was the main person to blame for Princess Diana's death? The Star, the Six of Wands. The person that was the driver. The Chariot is also my car. Henry Paul was the driver of the Mercedes S280 the night that Princess Diana died. He was also head of security detail at the Hotel Ritz in Paris. He happened to be off duty that night to take her wherever, you know, she was supposed to be going. Was this an inside? Did he know of the plans? He did. He got orders from the Queen to do what he needed to do. The Queen did this bullshit. He basically ordered Henry Paul to make a judgment call. And I guess the Mercedes was T-boned because there could have been someone that was in the backseat with Diana. Whoever those two people were, they died. The sole survivor of it was Henry Paul. And he has his own story and ideas of how that situation played out. But I feel like it's complete BS. Just from what I'm getting off of this reading. So let me see additional messages to that. Invest your money wisely. Will you forgive me? Why would someone say, will you forgive me? What do you have to be forgiven about? Exactly. This was transpired by, look, twin flame or divine counterpart relationship. There was a relationship that was supposed to be stopped. Had James Hewitt and Princess Diana actually gotten together, it would have caused like a ripple effect in this whole planet. When twins come together, I don't know what it is, but it's like the energy or the surge, it creates a domino effect in the planet. That's why incubus, succubus spirits and Jezebels they're so like tempting, and they sought after and they chase after twin flame and divine people to try to separate you from the person that you're supposed to be with. Because if we were all on our purpose, the light on this planet would be so high and like so powerful, multiple beings from different planets and galaxies would have no choice but to be attracted to this light. And who knows what that advancement in technology and what all of that could do to just like the evolution of like mankind and earth in general. So this is like way bigger than what it looks like. I have a twin, and when me and my twin came together, I kid you not, it literally it triggered the quarantine situation in Wuhan. It was like 3 days later, the whole world went into full-blown quarantine. So I know with this twin flame, look, abortion, miscarriage. Oh my gosh. She was pregnant. She was pregnant. When she died, she was pregnant. Paternity and DNA test needed. They would not say that. She was pregnant with James's child when she died. And that's why they freaking killed her. Children affecting this situation. I literally cannot make this up. This makes me want to cry because it's so sad. With Can't Talk, I'll reach out shortly. We have I regret my decisions. I didn't think of the consequences. So somebody here regrets their decisions. And who is it that regrets it? I need you. I've never felt like this about anyone. Somebody who envied her and, you know, had some sort of deep hatred. If you're with a narcissist or narcissistic family members and, you know, spouses, you know that they live to destroy you. They live to make you miserable. They live to, like, feed off of you and your love and your attention and everything. They just want to suck the life out of you until you want to kill yourself. And then James Hewitt came into the picture while Princess Diana was isolated in this entire family unit. She didn't really have anybody to talk to. He came into the picture to basically separate her from this family unit, and they killed her. Refuses to take ownership and accountability. This family, they'll take this secret to their graves. Like, I don't know who it is that's gonna flip out, or I don't know, someone's gonna end up speaking up, or this information is gonna come out some way, shape, or form. Wow, that's literally insane. So let me get to the last question before. Okay. So who planned the death? Who planned the death? 4 swords. 6 of swords. The Hermit. Page of Wands. Death. 7 of Cups. 5 of Swords. Murder. With a car. The Chariot is a car. Who planned it? This was a sacrifice. Knight of Wands. It started off with Charles. And who helped him do it and execute the plan? Someone who regrets it now. It's a woman that regrets it. So Camilla had something to do with this. Camilla egged Charles on, because Charles is a Scorpio. She egged him on to do whatever it is that she wanted done, because she also, you know, was money hungry and wanted her rise to fame. So this has something to do with Camilla as well. And I'm going to get my Kipper deck so I can see. Look, change. This was done so that there could be changes to the regime and changes to who is in power, because they couldn't have love and light being spread in this toxic regime, because whatever this ancient bloodline is that Queen Elizabeth is tied to, it's been roaming here for millennials. They've been here for millennials. This is something, wow, yeah. Despair, journey, occupation, privileged lady. Look, privileged lady. This is Diana. This is the courtship in the background. Camilla. And then we have Prince Charles. They created a pathway. They put work, time, and effort into this to put somebody into despair. And now they're going to be faced for this. Look, judgment. You see this? This is the divine. A divine judge. Could be Michael, because it's blonde. And it seems like Michael to me. Looking directly at Camilla, because she had like majority of weight on this death. More than Prince Charles did. So she mostly like conspired and transpired this whole situation so that she can get to power and rise to fame. And Charles just happened to be dumb and fell for the wrong person, because he knows that he made a mistake. Because now it says, I regret, you know, the decisions of my consequences. He's in spiritual poverty. It doesn't matter whether this person is surrounded by gold and caviar and truffle. Intuitively, this person knows, like, as soon as they die, it's not, where they're going, it's adjudication. They're going to be judged. It's like Charles has to live with this guilt of knowing what he's done to his child's mother, of knowing that Camilla is literally not shit. Look, she's a false person. She's still actively having other men in the background, and he knows it. So he's like, I killed the love of my life for this woman who literally isn't even what she seems, and she's still actively cheating on me. So he feels dumb, as he should. And with great fortune, this is something that's going to have to change, the great fortune, because with main female, she does not deserve to be in that British Empire at all whatsoever. In the divine, and Princess Diana is going to make sure that this happens and that this changes, because adjudication keeps coming out. They're going to get judged. Prince Charles, You can bookmark this. You can mark my words. Something's going to happen to him to where he's not going to make it to that position of high honor. They're going to sabotage him because message of concern, they waited till this moment. That's what the divine does. They make you think your plan worked all along. They make you think everything is kumbaya until the very last second when everything comes smacking the fuck down. That's exactly when death. As soon as Queen Elizabeth dies, 6 years is what I saw. We'll see that. 5 to 6 years. So either she's going to die or something significant is going to happen to that family unit where not only will their secrets be uncovered, but she's going to be looked at differently. Her influence in the world is going to be looked at differently. She also has ties to the Rothschild, Myers, you know, like I said, those families. So you can only imagine what it is that they're doing. And their whole agenda of New World Order and depopulating, like, the earth. Things like that. So the last message I have is this is something that's going to happen at a distance. For the most part, the majority of us watching are not in Europe. And we're going to hear about this from a distance, but we're definitely going to hear about it. And that's the end of your reading. Bye.